have new clips for Jurassic World Rebirth just a week after the epic new trailer. In a new behind-the-scenes promo, we get extended looks at the T-Rex River Raft scene and the Mutadon attack, which references the Jurassic Park kitchen scene, with a detail you might have missed but is definitely worth talking about. A previous behind-the-scenes video also showed more of the Mutadon scene, so there's a lot of this particular scene for us to dissect. But first, some extra glorious shots of the T-Rex. Every new look at this scene and at this Rex just makes me all the more excited for it. Maybe they're showing us too much too soon of this scene, but I think it's one of those scenes that will convince a lot of folks that they need to give this movie a chance and see it on the big screen. For those of us who were gonna see this movie anyways, it feels like a bit of a shame so much of it has already been spoiled. Like, we've literally already seen now how they're going to escape the Rex, but I understand the thought process behind it. This is their big ticket item. The behind-the-scenes promo also confirms that something will be stalking our characters in the swamp.
What's going to happen under the water? It's just going to do this past you a little bit. And you're not sure, was it just imagination?
We don't know what it is yet, but if I remember correctly, there were rumors of Caprasuchus going around, and a crocodilian type of creature lurking just below the surface of this murky, swampy water would be a perfect threat in this environment, not to mention an awesome addition to the species roster. It appears at some point the creature manages to pull Henry Loomis underwater, as in this past clip we see him coming up gasping for air. I do hope that they're going to be careful not to show too much in the promotional material in the last month before the film. I really prefer for them to keep some scenes and some creatures a mystery. What I mainly want to talk about in this video is the Mutadon scene. We had our first look at this scene and at the creature in the first trailer, then a behind-the-scenes clip shortly after which showed us even more, and now we have our best look at it yet. And as I said, we can clearly see the references to the Jurassic Park kitchen scene, which makes me very excited because the kitchen scene is peak scary Jurassic Park for me. That scene is so masterfully tense, and even though I doubt they can make a scene that good again, I like them taking inspiration from these classic scenes. Before we look at and dissect the new footage, one line stood out to me. When the Mutadon leaps into frame, one of the characters, Xavier Dobbs, says, "Oh, not that thing!" That thing implies that he's seen that thing before. Now, it could be that he's referencing the Mutadon in the preservation chamber in the lab, making this their first encounter with a living Mutadon. But I'm not convinced the family is part of that scene, where we only see Duncan and Henry walking through the abandoned lab. My personal theory is that at this point, the family and crew are separated on the island, and at this point in time, the family's actually busy trying to survive the T-Rex attack. So I think there's a good chance the Mutadon appearing at the gas station could be the second scene of these creatures. Let me know in a comment down below if you agree or if you think this is their first appearance in the film. But now let's talk about the one Mutadon scene we're sure is happening, the gas station attack, and how it uses the power of one of my favorite scenes in the franchise. To understand how the Mutadon attack scene starts, we have to go back to the Empire magazine article from 2 weeks ago, which describes the first part of the scene. It actually starts with the Velociraptors sneaking up on the group. You can see actors here playing them in camera for the other actors to have something to react to. Martin Krebs uses the gun he took earlier from the pilot of the crashed helicopter. He points it at the raptors, and then they back off. However, it's not the gun they're afraid of, as Henry Loomis says. It was something else. That's when the Mutadon leaps into frame, to the dismay of Xavier. We've been wondering if the Mutadons are capable of flight. The wings look maybe a bit too slim to support their bulk, but if they can't fly, what's the point of giving your movie monster wings? And its entry into the scene does make it seem like it's landing without anything directly obvious that it could have jumped off of. So it appears to have dropped in from the sky, implying that it can indeed fly. The characters then run to get away from the Mutadon, with the family fleeing into the gas station store. In the trailer, we saw the Mutadon banging into the door, but Zora distracts it. This gives the family the opportunity to barricade the door properly and probably gives them a momentary sense of relief, a feeling of safety. I think the young girl separates from the group, maybe to collect some food, not aware that any food that's at the station would be inedible and not worth collecting. Then we have a Mutadon coming down from the ceiling, so coming into the area where they thought they would be safe. This is either a second Mutadon that's been sleeping in the ceiling, like the bat that inspired writer David Kep to create the Mutadon in the first place, or it's the same Mutadon that was outside, and it's made its way into the gas station through a hole in the roof. We can see from the water on the floor that the roof isn't exactly sound anymore. It's this water that's going to add an extra layer of danger to the scene because the characters can't walk around silently. Their footsteps will make splashing sounds in the water, giving away their position. The parallels between this scene and the kitchen scene from the original Jurassic Park are apparent, with the carnivores moving through narrow aisles, looking over the obstacles behind which the characters are hiding, and the shots of the feet underneath. Seeing dinosaurs in a familiar human environment is when Jurassic is scariest for me, because I can picture myself in that situation and relate. So while the Mutadons are, in my opinion, not an ideal replacement of the Velociraptors, I am really excited for this scene as it has the potential to be the scariest scene of the film for me. I also wonder if the kitchen scene reference could be a hint at how the characters escape the Mutadon, hinting at the return of the Velociraptors. We know the scene starts with the Velociraptors getting scared off by the Mutadons. From the behind the scenes, we can see that there's only 2 raptors at this point. We also know that Velociraptors in the franchise are pack hunters living in groups larger than just 2. So I think it would be an awesome turn of events if the 2 Velociraptors who fled actually just went to get help from their pack. Maybe we can hear their characteristic call for help as they run away.
Oh my god. He's calling for help.
Fans of the franchise will know what this means and will be on the edge of their seats waiting for them to return. Then, just when it seems like the Mutadon has the family cornered, more raptors could interrupt, a distraction that gives the characters the chance to escape. Of course, the other option is that Zora, Henry, Duncan, and maybe even Martin come to the rescue somehow. But while it might be a cliche for dinosaurs to accidentally save the characters from another threat, as, you know, we've been there, we've done that, I think I would prefer it to go down that way, for the Velociraptors to redeem themselves like that. So we don't just have them running away at the first sight of the Mutadon to never return. It's clear Jurassic World Rebirth's marketing is ramping up, so subscribe to stay up to date on everything in the last month leading up to the film. If you haven't seen it yet, check out my full trailer analysis, and I've put all the T-Rex River Raft scenes in chronological order in a short, so we can basically see the whole scene from start to finish. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and until next time, hype for everything. So much hype.